To you.
You know, this is the part where I tell Moan that we're already live.
I know.
Yeah, I did it again.
It gets me every time, man. Luckily, I try to keep my language as clean as possible because I would be out of here, okay?
All right,
Jeez.
here we go.
Are you ready to do this?
I am not until I get a bell.
Not until you get a bell. Well, guess what? It's 3:01 and school's in session.
We are getting down to it here on the Ramon Foster Show. He's Ramon in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports in downtown Pittsburgh. And the draft is 2 whole bleeping nights away. So Ramon and I agreed before this camera got going here that we're going to keep it down to 2 whole positions that we're going to battle out today. And that's going to be defensive line versus corner. That doesn't mean that we're down to those 2 positions.
Yeah.
In meaning for what the Steelers might do, but we'll deal with the rest of that tomorrow. Today, defensive line versus corner. Moan, I see it as simple and basic as this.
Yeah.
Long-term foundational need, oh God, help us right away need.
So which way are you going on either one of them?
I want the next Cam. I want long-term foundational. I want a defensive lineman. If I can get it.
You know what? If that's the case, man, the guy that really jumps off the board, if you're talking about that guy and if it holds correct with what you're saying when it comes down to Omar and Coach Tomlin being all in, that's Jalen Carter. If you think he's not going 1, 2, or 3, okay, or 4, because 4 is looking for a quarterback themselves, maybe even 5. 17-6. I actually saw somebody took us. We listened to our crowd, right? DK said
we do.
They did the calculator. This was sent to us early in the morning and said that 17-32 is actually too rich. And I'm like, if that's actually too rich, a 17 and the actual, what's the other draft pick that we have in a second? The 49th?
The 49.
49th pick? I mean, geez. You go to 4 or you jump 5. Like, that's where I kind of sit when it comes down to this draft. I love it. 5 is Seattle. Seattle could be in the market, but Seattle also have to make a decision on what are they going to do with Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Geno's it's almost a 1-year deal that he had with this $51 million he's supposed to be getting this year. They can extend them out for 2 years. I almost look at them being in the market for a quarterback also. So, again, it's a matter of what runs first in this league. If you move up to 3, that's kind of rich, but I like Jalen Carter as the first-day starter type guy. I dove deeper into Mazie Smith, too. I know he's a fan favorite, DK, from Michigan. The kid from Michigan, he is a fan favorite. What I said about him was this. Do I think he's Cam? No. Cam film just pops. He's a great tool, a great assistant. I think he's a late first rounder, second round draft pick, maybe 3rd to 4th, depending on or 2 to 3. I don't think he's going to be 3rd or 4th round, okay?
The one thing to remember about these players, when you see them up there at the top of these lists and you say, oh, they can't get that guy. They actually can.
They can.
It's just a matter of how much are you willing to give up. There's an understanding of precedent as it relates to the draft capital that's required to move up, okay? But you have that draft capital.
Right.
And if you're the Steelers and you moved Chase Claypool in the middle of the season for the Bears' second rounder, which ended up being the first pick of the second round, you feel that much more confident in the capital that you have.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can all get a little excessive in interpreting what it is that Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan said to us on Monday. I'm guilty of that. I've now done this show with you. I've written a column about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I overreached on 100 different things that they said. Okay.
Yeah.
If they were reading it themselves, they'd be going, well, would you believe this? He thought that this meant this.
This fool. Yeah.
But in this case, man, you know, especially the way Tomlin answered the character question, I just, he was like, listen, that's something that we look into. That is a Steelers decision, was the way that he put it. We're not worried about what other teams think about this player. We're not going to be following anybody else's lead on this. We're going to do our own homework on, he didn't say Jalen Carter, but he knew who everybody was asking about.
Yeah.
I will take the foundational defensive lineman, Moan. I will.
And DK, you know what's so interesting about this class? I'm all OL when it comes to a lot of the way I look at the game, right? What are your bigs up front doing? What is everybody capable of doing up front? And I say this from a place of balance. I'm not I'm not being the guy that's trying to jab one way or the other. But there's really, if we're talking about D-line, not DN, there is not anybody that pops off the screen at you in this class this year. Jalen Carter's the one.
He's the one. I was going to say, other than him. Yeah, other than him. He's the one.
And I'll appease the crowd a little bit in this. Jalen Carter, Kalijah Cansey, we went through this yesterday. I don't want to say he's not a Pittsburgh type, because if they take him, they'll find a way to put him on the field, right? That's the same way I felt about Aaron Donald. You say what you want to, but a lot of people didn't think Aaron Donald was going to turn into this. You knew he was a playmaker. But, DK, you followed him. Did you think he would turn into this, though?
Well, let's put it this way. The one thing that nobody ever wondered about as it relates to AD, going back to his time growing up in Penn Hills, going to school at Central Catholic, going to school at Pitt, and everything else, was whether or not he had that hunger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no doubt.
I watched him play in some completely meaningless games. Most of Pitt's games with AD were meaningless. He just ate humans. He ate humans alive. It's you knew what the hunger was. Do you feel, Moan? You've looked at a lot of Carter tape now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Carter has that? I'm talking about the field now.
Do I feel? Yes, I do think he has it. I look at his tape and I see competitiveness. I see a guy that's trying to make plays and get to the quarterback. I see a guy, honestly, that takes pride in stopping the run too. That's what I'm seeing from a guy like Jalen Carter, if we're speaking directly about him. The other guy in this list, who I think may be the second-rated guy, is Brian Breesy from Clemson.
He's your 17. If you're staying at 17, he's your 17.
If you're staying at 17, you feel okay about him at 17. I get a mix of, and don't take this for what it is. He's a mix of Kiesel and Cam mix to me. Is that fair to you, DK?
I think so too. I see people who really, really like him, though, in fairness. Okay.
Yes.
And I understand, man, it's the draft. Nothing's perfect about it.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, once my eyes get big, once your eyes dilate,
you're locked in now. So here's my breakdown on Brian Breesy. He's 6'5", 298, a redshirt sophomore, tore his ACL last year, had a whole bunch of health problems this year. He can't control that, but it looked like they had it under wraps. Last dude that had some health issues like that was Trey Smith. Look how that turned out for Kansas City, okay? I don't even look at that. If they had it under wraps, it was good. He also had some trauma that happened last year. He lost his baby sister right before the season started. So he had a crazy year and still was very productive this year. My breakdown on him is this. A 5-star recruit is an attacker on defense. Okay, that's why I get the Kiesel part from him. Big body guy who moves well. He looks for violence. Okay, he does get high at time coming off the ball.
For violence.
Oh my, DK. He looks for it. Okay, he's good at that. He gets high coming off the ball, but he's a battering ram type of dude. He's big, and he is too. I love guys who play like that. He plays with a swagger, loves running the games, the stunts up front. He's had the health issues, but it didn't really take away from his production this year as far as when he was on the field. If you're asking me, he's an AFC North type. He's Sam Hubbard. He's the guy that Cincinnati ended up getting from the Saints. Gosh, Lee, the DN. Davenport?
Okay.
He's him.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
He's him. He's more him than almost anybody. I like him if you're getting him at 17. I see Frank saying he'll be there at 32. I don't know. I don't know if he's there at 32.
Better at parsing Tomlin and Khan from Monday than what our man Azure Dean does here. He says Tomlin said tight end pretty loud. Watch them shock us and grab tight end at number 17. You know what he actually did? Like, he's listing positions and he just goes, tight end. It's like, I'm sure it didn't matter.
Well, let me say this too. To be fair to Coach Tomlin, this is, if you're looking for a tight end, the best draft we've had in a long time when it comes down to it. Michael Mayer is solid. I'd actually put Dalton Kincaid above Darnell Washington, but you love the prospect of Darnell Washington. Luke Musgraves is good. Tucker Kraft. There's a few guys in this draft, man. Cameron Latu from Alabama. He didn't play a whole lot, but I thought he was pretty solid in his play this year. Will Mallory's another guy from Miami. You can go to top 10 at tight end and find a stud there this year. It's full of depth. So you know where I stood a little bit, okay? I said I think the 3 that they got now are solid. I've never known for us to be a 2 tight end pass catching team. Have we?
Yes. That was
who's your 2?
Well, with Vance, right? I count Vance.
Well, who's the other tight end that caught?
Yeah.
Vance
right.
plus a blocker.
Yeah, Vance.
I mean, Heath plus Spaeth. Heath plus DJ.
Yeah, like, they never did the Gronk and Hernandez thing.
There we go.
What you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a little bit different here. Hey, guys, we totally blew it with the corner thing. We were going to also mention corner, so we're going to do that when we come back as part of the only segment that matters.
That's all Ramon.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
See, when I say that we're all in this together on this show, this is what I'm talking about here, because Rodney jumps in and points out, this is who I was thinking of with Vance. It was Eric Ebron, okay? I mean, Ebron's a pass-catching tight end. The guy didn't even take to blocking until he got here, and Mike Tomlin told him, there's no way you're getting on the field unless you block.
Exactly. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's a one-year thing, but if you're drafting a rookie with Pat Freiermuth, you're really incorporating a 2 tight end passing offense. I guess that's my point for clarification right there, Mario, or Rodney. Both of you guys said the same thing. Like, it's never been our thing. But again, what Matt Canada chooses to do this year, I have no idea.
Yeah, we're shopping in the fantasy aisle now. Let's get back to the defensive line versus the corners. For me, if you're getting a corner, you're going up and getting Christian Gonzalez. Okay? I see Gonzalez. See, corners are they're tough.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't just bring up Artie Burns either. They're just tough across the board to forecast.
Yeah.
So what you have here is a situation where you can look at what the guy can bring you that doesn't go into a slump. So I will take the corner who is hyper athletic, which is what Gonzalez is. Do you follow me? I want somebody who, listen, even when he's struggling, he can still outrun you, outplay you, out-something you, okay?
Yeah.
As opposed to just having a crisis in confidence and then falling apart.
But let me stop you before you finish on real quick. You mean to tell me you're going to move up as GM of the Steelers and not pick the guy that everybody think he's going to pick, and that means Joey Porter Jr.? Is that what you're telling me, DK?
Oh, yeah. Joey Porter Jr. is a 17. He's a guy that you're either losing him at 16 to Washington or he's fallen to you at 17.
Okay,
you are not moving up to get the 3rd best corner in the draft.
Just to do a favor. I just wanted clarity on that right there, DK. That's all that was. Yeah.
There's no favor. You see me hold up the 3 fingers, though. You know what that reminds me of?
Hey, if you missed that, somebody's going to call you out. Let us know what you're talking about, DK.
At the Get Go Cafe and Market, quality is at the core of every menu item because 3 expert chefs fine-tune every detail so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for craveability. Order your favorite entry at the Get Go Cafe and Market today. So we're just punting on corner. Christian Gonzalez is the guy I'd move up for.
Christian Gonzalez is the guy you move up for.
But then you know what? If you move up, though,
as
long as you're moving up, go take Jalen Carter.
Rush and covers work together, DK. Rush and covers work together, bro. It just does, man. I know this for a fact. Brian McFadden, Stiller, he's also on national networks right now too. He loves Devin Witherspoon. Absolutely loves
Witherspoon's number one. In most everybody's eyes, Witherspoon. I'm actually ruling him out.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's fair.
Now, they don't see a sauce, but they do see
Witherspoon.
Kyle says, hang on, I've commented on this show live many times. No response. YouTube, no response. Paid for membership, commented. No. What is he talking about? What membership?
Oh.
Do you see the weird stuff that shows up every once in a while on your commenting thing?
Man, look, there is no malice whatsoever how we do this or how you guys come in here. This is a open.
We're happy
venue,
to have
I
you,
promise
man.
you.
We're happy to have you.
Or any other show too. I promise you, there's no malice towards this stuff, man. It's enough for everybody to go around. I just want to put that out in public.
Yeah, I didn't need to cut that off. I was like, I saw that. And I was like, what?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we love you, Kyle. Welcome to the show. There's a ton of stuff that comes in, my man. Not everybody gets in. Sarah says, "What's your favorite draft snack suggestion to Moan?"
Draft snack selections, probably a Red Bull to stay up to see if Pittsburgh do anything at 32 or 30. You know, if there's another trade before the end of the first round. I'll say this: I don't think you're going to need many snacks this time around. This draft has been so back and forth of everybody trying to position themselves, the lies that have been spread about certain guys or the perception about certain guys. I feel like it's people trying to, or teams trying to position themselves for the guys they want. It wouldn't shock me if there was a back and forth of trades and up and down of teams really trying to position themselves. I know this for a fact. Looking at this draft, the conversation around the AFC South, because you know that's my day job, right? Of Houston and Indianapolis, both being in that top 10, and then you have Tennessee right behind them. Like, there's the perception that the positioning of those teams will be crucial because Arizona, I mean, not Arizona, but Houston may need a quarterback. The Titans may need one if it falls there. But you look at Capital, and Houston now has a defensive-minded head coach and DeMeco Ryans. Like, it wouldn't shock me if we just saw shuffling of just chips this draft. I hope it is fireworks, man. I really, really do hope it's fireworks. So draft snacks, I'll tell you this: Red Bull, water, and some Takis chips. That'll keep you up.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. I'm just gonna do so much coffee I can't even. It's gonna be a long day here. I'll be doing baseball in the afternoon and then heading over to the Steelers complex.
Is the draft night though an event for people? Like I saw Rodolfo say this: chicken wings and pizza.
Yeah,
is it really it's an event to a lot of folks?
I think we're getting there.
Okay.
I think especially the first round, because the other thing with the first round here, look, not to be that guy, but man, that's a long period of time between picks, especially when you know what the picks are. Like, because look, there's nobody who's watching this who doesn't have Twitter open waiting for somebody to spoil.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Washington's going to take so-and-so. Okay, so you're sitting there waiting for Washington to take that guy.
Yeah. It what's interesting, man, is last year, I forget who was tweeting it out like before draft picks were coming out, but they were accurate. I don't know if they was backstage in the production with
they are. They get it from the agents. They're getting it from agents.
Well, they were spot on, man, last year. This is and maybe that's the way NFL wants it too.
No, the NFL would much rather keep the suspense on the program, but the NFL can't control the agents. Okay, and in a lot of cases, the agents they're just so excited that they just put out a group text, and they happen to have certain reporters on that group text, and then there it goes.
DK, I have another cornerback too, man, that's getting a lot of fanfare as of late, and I think honestly, if you view him, he may be legit. Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. He's 6 foot. Ran a 4.35. His biggest knock, DK, is can he get above 185 pounds? He weighed in at, give me 1 second, 166 at 6 foot tall. Now, this is a thing, though. in the
He needs to have some draft night snacks with you, Mo.
He does need to have some draft night snacks with me. Dane Brugler does the beats. You know, the big breakdown on him says Scout said, can he get to 185? They said this is the thing though. That 166, you never know it. Like, he is fast. He plays lights out. He would throw his face in the fan when it comes down to playing football. He could sneak in the first round. Just another guy that if Pittsburgh decide to move back or whatever the case may be of a cornerback who's under the radar that could be really good, is him, E. Forbes. Yep. Yeah, see, a lot of people, it piqued their interest a little bit on this one, DK.
I like this one a lot here. This is from Damien. It says, hey, Moan, do you trade 32 to the Bucks for Devin White and a pick? Never mind that the Bucks are insisting he is not available.
I know. Gosh, their coach came out today, said we expect him to be in camp. Everybody has a price. The thing is, you don't want to lowball yourself. That's the way I look at Tampa right now. If I was Devin White, I wouldn't want to be there either, because a player like him is going to be giving his all, and they're going to suck as a team for a little while. They got the Super Bowl, right? They got it 3 years ago.
You know what? The Rams got theirs, and they're going to suck for a while.
Yeah, they are. And if I was him and I had that leverage before I got to my second contract, trade me, sign me to a new team is what I would. That's what I would demand in my trade option. But Tampa can't say, yeah, he's on the block, because now I lowball the heck out of you.
Slap wants to know if you would trade with the Rams, move from 17 to get their 36, 69, and 77. See, I'm going to jump in on this one, Moan.
Go ahead.
You don't have much of a time span here. I know everyone feels like this is the beginning of something because Kenny Pickett's here and all the offensive guys are young. This is when you need to win.
Right.
Okay, before Kenny takes up a quarter of your payroll, because he will.
Yeah.
He will. He doesn't even have to be great to do that anymore. Okay.
Look at Daniel Jones.
Oh, geez. Don't go there.
Yeah.
But this is when you need to be doing it. So if you bring in just a whole pile of numbers, you're putting some hope into the process, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No doubt about it, man. I had somebody a second ago, DK, and I didn't highlight it. I should have asked me if there are some offensive linemen that are under the radar for me a little bit. Most of the dudes that you already know them for sure. But I would say this: Jalen Duncan from Maryland. Pretty solid tackle. He's probably a third-round guy. Tyler Steen, they got him as a tackle. He was a six-year senior that was pretty good, man. I think you can get some stuff out of him. Who's Nick Broker, the kid out of Ole Miss, guard. He's another guy that's I think is going to be pretty good. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this guy, man, Jerome Carvin out of Tennessee. I think he may be a priority free agent. But as far as depth, as far as finding low pay for a high output, the guy can play. Another kid, too, because I saw him at the Senior Bowl with Coach Tomlin. I was there with them watching it, is McClendon Curtis, guard out of UT Chattanooga, a small school. You remember last year's draft pick, was it 2 years ago? New England ended up stealing a center from UT Chattanooga. And he was a day one starter for him as a stud. They are a pipeline of small school offensive linemen right now. That's just a group of guys I know of off top that will, I think, be in the league for a little while if given that opportunity.
Lisa prefaces this as a dumb question when it's actually anything but. It's probably the best question we've gotten today so far. Lisa says, what scenario would make the Steelers want to trade down in this draft? And here, again, Lisa, I'm going to go back to Monday and do some more of my parsing. One of the things that I've heard peripherally before Monday was that the Steelers value the overall depth of this draft class. They see real things in rounds 5 through 7. That is not always the case in the draft. If they feel like they can go down and get numbers, they're going to do it. And it's not going to be attractive. It's not going to be popular. No one wants to sit there watching the draft and say, the Steelers have moved down. And you're going, yes!
Yeah. It doesn't get more exciting then, does it? You're just like, I got to wait on this crap again.
On Saturday, I will be stoked. You know, it just doesn't work like that.
This draft to me, man, and I'm glad I'm glad you brought that up. Big Al loves Hines 57, okay? Shout out to you. He's like, I feel like an inside linebacker got to be able to tackle well first and secondly cover as an off-the-ball thing. On my day job today, I had a guest on, and he was a former linebacker. And I asked him, I was like, look, we're not talking about linebackers the way we used to, middle linebackers, inside linebackers, off-the-ball linebackers, outside edge, they run the league. His answer was, you're right. The way the game has kind of changed some is a lot of teams now have started putting that safety, Terrell Edmonds, into the box. They run one linebacker, more DBs, and they have defensive linemen that are flexible enough to kind of drop in coverage. There's no real bona fide first-round draft pick at middle linebacker this year.
There isn't.
It's not exciting.
That's why we haven't been talking about it. There's nothing there that fits. Certainly not when you put this individual in the context of Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts. You need that off-ball guy.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless of what you think is the priority, it also has to work within the team mix. Noah says, hey, Moan, what if a particular receiver is still sitting there in the middle of the first round? Could they trade up? And in that event is Deontay Johnson on the block Friday. I'm assuming Noah is referring to Jackson Smith-Njigba. I am really close to all in on Jackson Smith-Njigba if he falls. Okay. Yeah. And I think it would require a fall because I believe that he is the best wide receiver in the class. And there's always value in that.
I do. I think there's always value in that. That way you can always plan for the future too, right, DK, when it comes down to it. But if there's a wide receiver there, you take him, especially if he's the best available of what's left on the board. You can't pass on it. And this is my thing too. Kenny having the ability to have more weapons. Now, again, this all breaks down to what, DK? What our play caller, your favorite friend, Matt Canada, is going to do for him, though.
Okay, never mind then. I don't want him.
See what I'm saying?
You sold me. That's it. He's out.
See what I'm saying? And let's go this route, too. I was brought up to me earlier, and I was having a conversation with somebody. The league has gotten what, DK? Very pass happy. Has it not?
Yes.
I was told by somebody, don't be surprised if the NFL gets to a point to where they know middle of defenses have gotten soft. Meaning everybody's getting the cover linebacker. Run the ball.
Up the gut.
Fascinating, isn't it, DK?
What did teams do to the Steelers when Devin Bush forgot how to tackle?
That's
it. I mean, they didn't
right
overthink
in his teeth.
Yep, they went like they did what the Vikings did.
Pow. Right in his teeth, man. But that was fascinating to me too, and it also got me thinking about the linemen that I see at like the draft and stuff. Like these aren't small kids anymore. Like a lot of people were trending to the 295 to 315 size guys. There's a lot of high-end guys in this draft that are like 325, 330, 335 that are, I think we may get back to a old school style of NFL ball here soon.
We had a whole bunch of little miniature violins for our friend Kyle.
I saw Kyle, man, please come back. It wasn't personal. It wasn't personal at all, bro.
Thing, Kyle, you're coming into a locker room atmosphere here, okay? You're gonna get it, Kyle. You got miniature violins, you got tears, you got everything else.
Hey, y'all don't play.
We can still love you, though.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
This group chat will straighten you all the way up, man. I promise you. And anybody can get it over here. Y'all, I love y'all for showing up to this thing, man. It's beautiful. Kyle, it was just your day.
Kyle has grown up today. There's no doubt about that.
Your day, baby.
Brett says Darnell Washington is a beast. Yeah, you're not getting a tight end.
You're not getting it. That's
Just
hard to see.
Stop it. You're not getting a tight end here. Lyle says, I hate all the mock drafts, but Yins 2 make this interesting. Good job. Well, we're not sitting here taking ourselves excessively seriously. We're not going to go and hang on. If I could do like Kuiper head here, okay, just pretend I have Kuiper hair. Just like, and I believe that if this team moves up and that team and dude, you spent 364 days of your year preparing for this event, and you got 6 picks right last year.
Yeah.
And Todd McShay, who is seen as like the big successor to Kuiper, got 6 picks right last year. So you might as well just have fun with it because that's all it is.
McShay takes the fluff out so I can deal with him a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'll roll with that one, man, but he's not all the way right.
Yeah, if B. Jones is there, Broderick Jones is there at pick 9, do the Steelers move up, man?
I think Broderick Jones going to be there after 11 and 12.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Broderick is probably the third or fourth tackle in this. I got in this group, I have let me pull up the list so I'm all the way correct with this one, DK.
Mm-hmm.
I have Paris Johnson Jr., number one, I think. Peter Skoronski, and I'd almost put, okay, you know where I'm headed on this one, okay? My Tennessee Vol, I'd almost put him in the mix to Darnell Wright as the third tackle or Broderick Jones. It's a mix between what system do you expect him to play in? Broderick or Darnell is 3 or 4 to me.
Well, what I see is the first thing you have to sort out is who's going to be the first offensive lineman taken. That seems to be, universally in favor of one player, and it's not Paris Johnson. Whereas my understanding and my feel is that the Steelers like Johnson. And you've seen some stuff over the last couple of days. And again, we're getting into, the early period of time here right before the draft where all kinds of stuff is going to fly around, that Johnson is the guy that they want to target up high. I've not heard that myself specifically, but no.
No on Paris Johnson?
No, it's not no on Paris Johnson. It's no on you're bringing him in to compete with Dan Moore. But then is that really your best, highest usage of a pick when you move up? As opposed to going and getting Jalen Carter? You know what I'm saying?
I honestly thought we were set on the O-line.
So did I.
These mocks, they are what they are. They got us talking about it, right? They have us talking about it. Me personally, I don't see us taking the tackle that early, although somebody said Darnell Wright and the Steelers are a match made in heaven. And I just don't know if that's the case. I like them, but I don't know that. I saw this too in Skoronski's his measurables, his arms. It does somewhat matter. The thing that will help Skoronski is this. We'll ask, I guess I should, do the question. Morrow asks this: will Skoronski fall due to his arms? And if he does, and it's there at 17, do the Steelers believe he can be their left tackle of the future?
He's not lasting that long.
No. And will he be the left tackle of the future? I personally will put Skoronski at guard just because of the arms. He's a technician, but he's not overly athletic to overcompensate for his arms is how I view him.
See, this is what I appreciate. It's a supportive community because we've kicked Kyle today. All right. We've made Kyle's life pretty rough. But then look at Jeff coming and says, keep playing to the whistle, Kyle.
Yeah, seriously.
There's no emoji there. There's nothing. He just says, come on, Kyle. We see you, my man. And you're shoving Kyle right back out into the huddle, aren't you?
Yeah. Get back in this thing, man. Kyle, I never wanted you to leave. Where are we going, man? Come on, dog. What we got going on here?
Oh, Chris says, hey, Moan, how the HE double hockey sticks do sports books and bettors have the Steelers with the lowest odds of winning the division? I haven't seen that. Have you?
Well, you know what, Chris? Vegas like to win money, okay? Vegas like to win money. That's why, okay? It's too early in the offseason. If you take that bet right now and you hit on it, guess what, man? Kudos to you. We'll probably be drafting in the top 10. But I'll say this. Camp has to happen. Mini camp has to happen. The season has to happen. We're talking about injuries, suspensions, bad play, firings. All of those things have to happen, okay? To take a bet like that is weird to me. Vegas like to win money. That's all I would tell you on those types of things.
Tyler suspects that Kyler is a plant, the comedian's friend. Do you know what that is? The one person. That means you put the person in the audience to laugh.
To get everybody else laughing.
So that we did this. We purposely put Kyle out there so that we could we could get a few cracks from everybody here. John confirms indeed that Kyle is the man.
He is.
Jeff says that Kyle has become Rudy. I kind of like that one, although not nearly as much as Leo having identified Kyle as chef number 3 in the Get-Go Cafe and Market Mix.
Y'all are brutal in here, man. You know what? This is the locker room and everybody eats, baby. Here we go.
This is the best. Kyle got his 15 minutes. I love this.
Kyle, I love you, man. Whatever's going on. There he is. He's back.
Come back. Is he back?
He's back.
Where do you see him?
There he is.
Is this him? Oh, here we go. LMAO says, Kyle, I ain't worried about what the chat says. If anything, continuing to put me out there is more annoying. All I wanted was a couple of questions answered. I follow you guys everywhere, and it was my favorite channel. Kyle, bring your question. We are here. We are sitting here at your beck and call right now, my man.
You're my dog. By the way, Kyle, too, we scan through as much as we possibly can to find your questions. That's all it is, dog. I see you again with the purple emoji. There we go. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, or we may have answered it earlier. So sorry about that if that's the thing, man.
Oh, Swan says if Kyle's a plant, he's a cactus. Oh no, you did not do that.
If we didn't say that, Kyle, the crowd said that, man. We're rooting for you.
Kyle now hates us. I'm bummed, man. All I want is an actual question here. Kyle, just let the 3 expert chefs make you happy.
Yeah.
Kyle's gonna Kyle, says Tony. So we're not gonna get a question from Kyle.
Not anymore.
We're buying him all this time here. We're trying.
You see what he said now, and that's fair.
Where?
That is fair right there. You see?
You find it? Oh, now I'm gonna make you all wait. Because this became way bigger than it needed. We're all waiting breathlessly.
Yeah.
So you thought you were all anticipating the draft. No. You were all anticipating Kyle's actual question. Paul has a question for Kyle today. Paul says, Kyle, what number should I put on my jersey?
Do 7. Remember Pat Peterson doing that one? do 7. Definitely do 7.
Eric wants to know, hey, Moan and DK, what pick 17 is the one that would make you groan? Oh, that's good.
The pick 17 that would make me groan.
What pick at 17 would make you groan?
Oh, let me see. Give me 1 second, DK. Pick 17 that would make me groan.
I got one while you think.
Hold up. Give me 1 second. It would probably be a tight end, Michael Mayer.
It just doesn't, tight end is just like, okay, you got one of those, you got 2 of those, and you got Cam's brother. And you're like, come on, how many of these do you need? This is a chance to really fortify that defense.
It is. Pick 17 of it being a tight end, even if he's the best available, would make me groan. I'm going to be honest. That's the only position. That or linebacker, which I just don't – middle linebacker. I don't see that happening.
Well, that would be a groan.
Yeah, tight end or middle linebacker is the only 2 positions. I'm okay with safety, even though that's so devalued. Maisie at 17. Yeah, you can get him a little bit later. You could.
Jordan Addison. That would make you groan.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair. Mine actually, and I say this respectfully, mine would be Joey Porter Jr. Because, and only from a coverage standpoint. Here's why. Because all anybody would talk about is, oh, they just did it because he's his son and everything else here. And you would have that attached to him forever. Every completed pass against him would be something nepotism.
For that to work, he better have earmuffs on at all time. And we've seen it already right now. The comparison to his dad that played a totally different position than him, that was more of he grew up in a different environment. And I say that respectfully. You come from poverty like Joey did to change stuff for your kids. Joey was that way because he was born into the environment like that. Okay. And his kid, I think you're not going to get Joey Porter Sr., okay?
No.
So don't expect that. So that pressure performing like Joey Porter Sr.,
no.
Avoid.
Or behaving or anything like that. John says
avoid.
A quarterback that fell. Mike Tomlin said explicitly, we are not quarterback shopping.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So forget that. If you see CJ Stroud fall from 1 to 17, that's your classic case of trade down. Okay, that is your dream trade down scenario here. Jason says, I'm not sorry to say that I totally want Joey Porter Jr. I cannot see him in another jersey. I just can't see. That's getting into the name. Yeah.
I can. Yeah, I can. No way is that going to be okay for him. Send him to Washington. That way y'all can go down and drive to him if you want to.
2B1 says the draft is like being married, and your single friends are like, hey, you think she's hot? Does not matter. I got my woman and faithful.
Yeah. I get what he's saying. Like, you focus in on what you're supposed to be getting at that point, and that's the one that fits you. Getting Joey Porter Jr. It just looks attractive. Oh, that's what that is, DK.
Oh man,
According to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Will you hate him if he's an Eagle? That's the real question.
No, because they're not even in the conference. Nobody cares about the Eagles. Fasted says, "What's Mason Rudolph going to do?" You know, it's funny. Mason doesn't have a job yet.
No,
and Mason obviously would be hanging on for a number 2 job.
So you got it.
So when do those come available? Not now. They come available when the guys start dropping in the preseason. It might be a while.
This also goes to where young quarterbacks in this league, if you aren't starting by year 2, you're probably not going to be a starter in this league unless you have a crazy resurrection, unless Geno Smith. Even look at Brock Purdy right now and Trey Lance in San Francisco. Trey Lance has started, but not an entire season. They went on a run and won well with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. Like Mason's biggest hiccup in his career was Ben was there. And when having given that opportunity, he got knocked out. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And he never got right from that. Not from the hit. I just think he just didn't click because Ben was never out.
We have one here from Morrow who says, would you rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba at 17, or you don't even have to finish the sentence?
Yeah, no, give me JSN. I like that all day and twice on Sundays.
That is an impact player here.
Yeah, easily.
My man S comes in with, I'm not sure what that is.
I ain't got a clue, DK. I think that might be pesos or something. I ain't got a clue. I'm gonna defer to you on that.
Yeah,
one.
maybe you can come back on us on that. What do you know what that is? Oh yeah, she says we're not worth it. Maybe it was Kyle.
No, it was not Kyle. Kyle's purple.
He's turned all kinds of shades of everything today.
Kyle's purple right now.
Brent says Omar's going to pull off a trade in the top 10 and then trade back 2 picks and pick up better draft picks than originally to set his place in history as Super Con. He's developed, Omar, already quite a thing with his community, hasn't he?
Is it really a difference in eras, though, DK? Like, Kev and what the team had was competitive for the most part every year, despite not making it past the first round and stuff like that. Omar has to get it to where it must be competitive. And I'll say this too. Omar is younger. Omar has seen other GMs. He's interviewed for other jobs. I'm sure he's picked up ideas of what he would do when he got the GM job, and he's acting on those things right now. I never in a million years would have thought Omar Khan would be moving like this as far as free agency and moves and that deal that he fleeced Chicago out of.
I that's one of those ones that's so dumb from the other team's perspective that you don't even know whether to give credit or just to assign blame. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I have no idea, man. But Omar has really if you love him now with more experience, you may fall way head over heels with Omar if he continue to do this type of stuff down the line.
Steel Bleeder says he wants Zay Flowers at 32 just because we have the same last name and I need a new Flowers jersey. You could just tell everybody it's your Leathon Flowers, or Lee Flowers as he became known later in his career.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Jersey. You know, there's nothing wrong with that here.
I'm here for that.
A couple more today. Brian says, hey, Bone, is Omar Khan amenable to gathering future picks?
Ooh. We said what, DK? They got to get to winning now. They have to.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that at all.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Like, no, it's all in. We've never been that type of organization, though, DK. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like,
future picks?
No.
That's Cleveland.
We better get it now. It's the way we look at this, okay? Nah, we don't play those types of games, all right? Nah, not like that.
Our best and last for the day comes from Jason Esch, who says, hey, Moan, how much more do we need an edge in this draft, being that we haven't addressed it in free agency? And it's a good point because,
it is.
All the time we talked about Bud Dupree, he was going to come in and be part of this 3-man rotation, obviously with the time favoring TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. But, hey, here's, now it's who? Nobody.
Yeah. I know you have nobody. I liked Keon White out of Georgia Tech. I saw him at the Senior Bowl. Really good movement, man. He was moving guys back. He may be more of a 4-down D lineman, like what Cam plays with the ability to stand up a little bit. Lucas Van Ness is another guy. BJ Ojulari.
Van Ness. I'm out on Van Ness.
You out on Van Ness? Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
I would say him, BJ Ojulari, if you're looking for a second-round type of guy. I want to say Nolan Smith, but I'm going to be honest with you. His size and measurables are beautiful, but I'm going to be real with you in this. Maybe because he went to Georgia. I'm getting Jarvis Jones vibes. Where can his body hold up? Jarvis already had a neck fusion that he had on his, so Jarvis was on, a clock anyway when it comes down to it. I love Nolan Smith. I do a lot, but I don't know where I'm going to play him, and I don't know if he can rush off the edge. Another dude you'll have the ability to get is Tyree Wilson if you just happen to stay where you're at. Some say he's a top 5. Some have him going 10 a little bit later. My thing is this. The draft writes its own story, meaning whoever they decide to get runs on in the draft is what's available to you next. If quarterbacks go, boom, tackles are there. Cornerbacks are there. But if tackles go first, no quarterbacks, and then you move down the line to outside edge and D tackle, you got something in.
Tyler says people out here changing their names to Kyle so they can get their questions answered. They're just changing their names to Kyle to see what terrible things can happen to them.
You know what? Kyle actually came with an explanation for it, DK. I started, and I thought it was fair for him to kind of own up to it.
Let's have it.
You ready for it? Kyle said this for everybody. That's why I was like, no, Kyle, don't leave. You're part of this too. He said this. I'll say this. I missed out on a promotion I really wanted, so my frustration poured into this chat. I'm sorry for hijacking the show. Back to your regularly scheduled program. All love. Facts, my brother.
Wait, what promotion? Is he referring to if he's referring to
at his own job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
he brought attitude into it, and I get it.
I'm going to say this again, Kyle. We are with you, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You will not be the first person that Ramon has shoved into a huddle, okay?
No.
You will not be the first person after the huddle breaks that Ramon will have shoved to the line of scrimmage.
That's fair. I got fined for it.
Okay? So we're here for you, Kyle.
Yeah, no doubt about it, bro. We get it. Everybody have a bad one, but nobody's ever out on this thing, for sure.
Yeah, no question about that. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks to everybody for watching, but most especially Kyle, because, in fact, Kyle is the MVP.
He is the MVP, and that promotion is going to come back around.
Oh, she has my wife, Dolly, has a surprise for everybody on tomorrow's show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now she made the face. I know what it is. Actually, you guys are gonna love it. It has nothing to do with Kyle.
Okay.
In case you're thinking it's a gag, no, it's real. It's really cool too. Something just for people who watch the Ramon Foster show. You know who doesn't even know about it yet?
Me,
Ramon Foster.
Yeah, I ain't got a clue. What the hell, Dolly? What we got going on?
I don't know. Leo says, is she hosting?
That's Leo's pipe dream right there. Stop it, Leo.
Brian wants cookies. CH wants merchandise. You guys are so greedy.
You know what they should be, man. Get
all I want to know is what the dude meant with the P999. Is that pesos or something?
I have no idea, but either way, appreciate it.
It looked like one of those contributions or something. You know? All right, guys, it's not merch. She says, don't get your hopes up about merch. It's definitely not merchandise.
That's the only thing I thought it was Christmas in friggin' April. Come on, Dolly, tease.
All right, guys, let's do it again tomorrow. Whatever you do not stay tuned through the end of the outro, because that would not be worthwhile.
Not worth it at all.
All right, bye.
See ya. I don't make the rules, okay?
Kyle makes the rules.
I don't make the rules, okay? Best dad ever, all right? I don't make these rules. It's a sign in my office, okay? Y'all let me know.
I love it. Bye, Kyle.